Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Let's see. We want to use something. How about until next time? Oh,
It's
no.
hard.
You
I
guys
have
are putting me on
trouble.
the spot. You're going to
I
have to cut
got
this
one
out.
for you. You heard it here on Passages.
Yes. This is
Well, I'm trying to think of something to
Andrew
play on.
Kingsley signing off. You heard it here on Passages. Welcome. You're listening to Passages. I'm here with Jason and Patrick as usual. Tim is away, and in his place, I have my dad, Andy Kaiser. Dad, this is your second time on the podcast, I believe?
Second time. Yeah.
Second time.
This time with a real seat.
I know.
Yeah.
Welcome back, and we're excited to have you.
Yeah, we are. Dad was here tonight to kick off our spring series, which is a Wednesday night series we do at church, and we have a guest speaker every week. And he was at the beginning of his lesson, he was talking about the work of a preacher and how it should be full of joy. And he read a passage that I just wanted to bring up as we start today, because I think it also has to do with what we do here on Passages. Paul was writing to the Corinthians in 2 Corinthians 1:24, and he says, "Not that we lord it over your faith, but we work with you for your joy, for you stand firm in your faith." Paul wanted to minister to the Corinthians for their joy, and that's not what people think of in a preacher's work very much. But preachers ought to be ministers of joy. And,
Yes.
we try to bring a little joy with this podcast. There's a lot of very serious podcasts out there that you can listen to, and they're very good, but we like to have fun. And I thought, well, there's some scriptural confirmation
I
of
like
what we're
that,
doing
yeah.
here on the program.
I like it a lot.
It is.
And after tonight, we will have to step up our dress code.
I know.
He's,
Well,
Andy's
I
showing
told
all of
Cassie,
us up.
I told Cassie before we came in here, I was like, I hope he at least pulls the bow tie off, because I mean, at least then he's got just the
No.
undone.
Not
But
gonna
it's a
happen.
good look. It's a good look. The best. I've always said the most sharp dressed Kaiser that I know. Mackenzie's probably number 2, I would think.
he does all right. He does all right.
Yeah.
I hear he didn't. They didn't really enjoy him that much as a child, but he is very well dressed. So.
He did get the nice dress from Dad.
I never had such a good laugh. That's the best
from the
ever.
audience. Yeah.
That's the best ever.
Pick on Mackenzie, it's an automatic laugh.
Yeah, automatic.
It was really it caught me off guard, because the first thing I thought was, oh no, he's got 4 kids.
Yeah.
And then you dropped the hammer, and I got really tickled.
Yeah. Well, I thought about bringing up your book. Is it okay to bring it up now?
Sure.
Because this is when we're supposed to.
I have gifts, though.
Okay.
I have gifts.
All right. Well,
I have gifts.
this program, of course, is brought by Riddle Creek Publishing.
Oh.
The leader of Riddle Creek Publishing is Andy Kaiser right here, and he's just scored some
can't
points
have
with some
one. Can you
cookies.
have
Thank you. I'm going to have one. I'm not supposed to have one.
Now, these are,
One will be fine, Jason.
they're used to Julie's cookies, so.
I know. That's why.
Anything made with love.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love Julie, but you had to try my cookies.
This
is your homemade cookies.
Yes, I made
This is a
them
very good cookie.
last night.
Mm.
It is good.
Those are good.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Wow.
my bag from Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
We
Actually,
can tell.
one of the preachers sent it to Mary Jane, but there is no way that she's
No.
going to have something this colorful.
No.
Now,
My
if it
mother
were-
would have never carried that. No way.
If it were just black, it might get by, but no,
Maybe.
never anything that flashy. She's not going to have it.
Mm-mm.
No.
Beautiful.
All right.
So
And these are
Jason,
excellent.
I'm just going to keep this over here. Me and Drew will eat this.
Well, I may
That's
I
fine.
may
They're
get
very
one
good.
more. I may get one more before the night's over. I've been pretty good today.
I don't want you passing out on me.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. No.
Okay. And I also brought you a hardcover copy of "I Want to Go to Heaven."
The
Well,
new
thank
book
you.
out by
Yeah.
Riddle
Thank
Creek
you so
Publishing.
much.
Yeah.
And I hope you enjoy it.
Available on riddlecreekpublishing.com and Amazon.
Yes. And there is in the preface a quotation that I thought well, I'd like for you to discuss it sometime. And I thought, well, I like your classical, your quotations, your passages from classical works. But I also heard you discuss a road sign one time or something. You saw a sign somebody was carrying. So I thought you might discuss this sometime. I mentioned in preface that a man that I was visiting with once told me that he didn't know enough about heaven to want to go there. And he was an old soldier, so he wasn't afraid of hell. I'd like to hear you discuss that sometime.
Interesting.
That's a good idea.
That is.
And so that's one of the reasons I wrote this book, that he said, I don't know enough about heaven to want to go there. Well, I want you to want to go there.
Yeah.
So if that's what it takes, telling you more about heaven or, revealing what the scriptures say about heaven, I mean, that's obviously a draw. So that's why I wrote the book. I want people to know more about it so they will want to go to heaven.
Excellent. And thank you for writing it. I look forward to reading this.
Well, I hope you get something out of it. I enjoyed writing it. I got this idea 3 years ago that I wanted to write this book, but Mary Jane was sick. She took a lot of my time. I was still preaching full time. But she needed a lot of attention, and so I spent a lot of time with her. So I just did a little bit. I just kind of roughed it out, did a table of contents, a little bit of it, but I didn't get to work on it very much. And then when she died, I immediately started working on it in earnest, and it's been 14 months ago now. Well, more than that, almost. It's been 16 months. And so I just really poured myself into it after that when she died. And finally, with Drew's help, got it done.
I really love the dedication in here too.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Beautifully said and done.
Read it, Jason. I can't read it without tearing up.
Yeah.
I may not be able to. It says, dedicated to Mary Jane, who knows more about life after death than I do. That is just sweet and kind. It's truly beautiful.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I will forever carry a memory of this night in here because I have some chocolate that I got on one of these pages now.
Chocolate thumbprint on it.
Yeah. Very
That's the
memorable
gift
now.
that keeps on giving.
Very
It is.
special.
So what about the cookies? What's the verdict?
I
They're
think
very,
they're very good.
very good.
I will have
Listen.
to have a second round
Okay.
in a little while. You better save me one.
This
It's getting empty over there.
You've been
is.
cooking for a long time now,
No,
but I'm
not
still
really.
reeling from this transformation you've made. Growing up, you could burn ice cubes.
I mean, I couldn't do it. I still,
it's-
That's just mean to say.
well,
Was
he
it
just
that
never,
bad?
he never, the truth is he never had to cook. My mom would do it all and preferred to do it all. She wouldn't let anybody help her clean up the kitchen.
right.
She wouldn't let anybody in. She didn't want you in the kitchen when she was working. It was her place. But when she got sick, Dad started cooking. But these cookies, I mean, they're very good.
Those
I'm
cookies,
impressed.
those cookies, Drew, this will mean something to Drew, but not to you, Patrick, or you, Jason. But those cookies are Linda Keene cookies.
Oh,
That's Linda
It's one of our
Keene's
neighbors.
recipe.
neighbors from when I was growing up in Howell, Texas.
Yeah,
Well, no wonder they're good.
yeah. That's her recipe.
Wow.
I started making those, Mary Jane, when I was taking her to adult daycare
Mhm.
for a couple of days a week back before she got really, really bad. And I thought, and those folks are so good. They were just very kind, very good, very helpful. They deal with dementia patients and Alzheimer's patients. And so I just made a batch. The Howe Church sent me the cookbook that had Linda Keene's recipe in it.
Mhm.
And so I thought, this can't be that hard. It's not that hard. And so I tried it, and it turned out well. So I took them to the adult daycare, and they loved them, and they wanted more. And so
fantastic.
Keep supplying
that's
them.
when I started doing that.
Oh, they're really good. Well, listen, we have a new segment we're very excited about. It's our remote correspondent, Andrew Kingsley. And he has filed a report for us tonight We will play the report, and then Andrew's going to come on and we'll talk about what we've seen. We have no idea what we're about to see here. Andrew travels the country looking for news and getting scoops before New York Times, Fox News, CBS. None of these places go where Andrew goes. He's fearless.
He's not live, but he's local.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess that's true. So
I had to think about that a while.
let's play it, and then we'll talk to Andrew. Go
All
ahead.
right. Click the right button.
Hard work, dedication, excellence. Scenes like these are taking place all across the country, even this very night. Hundreds of Christian teenagers are training in a program known as Lads to Leaders, a program designed to train young Christian children to learn how to participate in leadership roles in their local churches. Opportunities to learn include song leading, speaking, Bible reading, service opportunities, and of course, puppet shows. I had a chance this evening to interview two of the coaches involved in planning such a puppet show for our young children. Here's what they had to say. I'm here with Lori Morris and Brittany Long, who are two of our coaches for the children's, what age group?
I think it goes up to third grade.
All right, the up to third grade, very well behaved, as we just saw in this room. As puppet coaches, I have a few questions. One is, Lads to Leaders is all about growing our young kids and helping them become leaders in the church. So in your opinion, how does the puppet show contribute to the leadership of our next generation?
Well, they're learning how to teach kids.
And I think the
In a
way
fun
the
way.
story looks at it from a different perspective helps them look at, Bible stories from a different perspective.
It's very good. That was a sarcastic question, but it was a great answer. It was a great answer. No, another serious question. What's in your drama background that qualifies you to be a coach for the puppet team?
Oh, yeah, absolutely nothing for me. Yeah.
Nothing.
Perfect. I believe that's what's required. So you hit the box there. Last question though. Seriously, what do you guys see that's a good thing for our kids? What do they learn from the Lads to Leaders program?
Oh, I think they learn it's in the name, how to be leaders, how to do different types of things. Of course, you have your big three, your speech, your song leading, those type things. But things like puppet, I think, is a great way to learn how to teach class, interact with other kids, teach kids.
They find their talents, what they're good at, and what they can work on as they grow up.
All right, we heard it here, folks. Back to you.
I don't know how many of our listeners are familiar with Lads to Leaders. It's a program that Asheville Road is involved in, and a lot of our young men and women have come through it and learned a lot of skills. Tonight, one of our young men, Tim's son Jonathan, led our singing. He was on pitch. He had the rhythm down.
He did a great job.
Yeah. And
His time is
and a
good.
lot of it, Jonathan, being Tim's son, would have learned it anyway, but he learned it through the Lads to Leaders program. So
Millie
it's good.
texted me in the middle of Andy's lesson, so sorry you had to hear that here, but she was a little frantic as I read it. I don't know what her tone actually was, but it was, did Jonathan pick an invitation song? And I thought for a second, should I say, oh no, he didn't? But I said, of course he did. He's a professional.
That's right.
There you go.
He's a professional.
Hey, even 40 years ago or so, I was a part of the Lads to Leaders
Is that
program.
right?
Or 35 years ago, we went to Nashville when I was 10 or 11, maybe. We didn't
It
make
was
it
only
long.
I
at
was
Nashville.
there.
Then?
Yes.
I remember Jack Zorn coming to our building when I was that age, red coat in tow, and
The
and
founder of
doing
Lads to Leaders.
a big speech and a program to talk about it, and the red notebooks we got, 3-ring binders. It was
But
a neat
Andrew,
process.
we've got to talk about this puppet thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna sort this whole thing out. You had some wonderful ladies there who seem very jovial and fun that work with the program there. You had some
They were very
pointed questions.
serious, though. They were serious.
Yes, they take For puppeteers, they were very, very serious people. I usually think of puppeteers as, lighthearted and whimsical, but they were.
Well, they're not puppeteers. They're coaches.
What do you call a puppet coach?
A coach.
So you'd go up to Jim
I'm-
Henson and you'd say, "Hey, coach."
No, he's a puppeteer. He did
the puppets, yeah.
Well, whatever.
They don't do puppets. They
They're
just
just
coach
teaching.
puppets.
Actually, they're just hurting the children, not hurting. Hurting.
Enunciate
Hurting.
that. Yeah.
Hurting.
So,
not
Andrew,
hurting.
so the first thing is when I know this was your first field report.
I like the microphone.
I had a little problem at the beginning. I thought the puppet was talking to me.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
I did too. It was pretty funny. Yeah.
And then the girl puppet started talking. I was like, wait a minute. This is Andrew talking about puppets.
Yeah.
Can we get an Andrew
No,
puppet?
the production value is not that high yet.
Oh, that would be
Oh.
great. As if we
If
got
we
an
could get
Andrew
an Andrew
puppet
puppet.
to do the rest of these field
Yeah.
reports.
I do like that our remote
We'll work on it.
correspondent uses a remote for his microphone. It's just, it's so perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So two things I'd like to ask about puppets. Number one, when you present at Lads to Leaders, do you actually take the sign off the puppet stage that says, please don't play around
will
this?
fall.
It will fall. That is a question I noticed. It was distracting to me. I had a hard time paying attention to what was
That's
going
what
on.
was distracting me.
Yeah. You didn't want to get
Well,
too
it was
close.
out of place. It was crooked too. It was driving me crazy. But I just noticed that. So you may just make a little note somewhere to tell them it probably needs to come down, because if I'm judging and that's up, it's going to hurt your score. Another thing I noticed since when you were here, Andrew, with us
You notice he straightened his camera after you
I
said
did.
that.
at the great, and I appreciate it, at the Great Asheville Road Church of Christ, you wore a lot of khaki pants with tennis shoes. I noticed in your interview, you were going with the colorful socks and loafers. It looks like life has been really good to you over there. Have you ever been accused of being light in those loafers?
All right, I have 3 responses to the 2 questions.
Okay.
Response number 1 is, I believe as a puppet coach, they refer to themselves as the master of puppets, I think. is the-
Oh, okay.
Oh, well played.
I like it.
Well
I like
played,
it.
sir.
Okay.
yeah, master of
I'm
puppets.
giving you
yeah.
1
That's a
point
little
for that.
better than
Very,
coach.
very well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, that is
That's
much better than
higher
coach.
than coach.
Yep, you got a point.
The second question, hang on, I think I might have forgotten what it was because I was excited to say master of puppets. The second question was, the sign. Yeah, the sign. I don't think that travels with the group. I did not ask
Okay.
the coaches about the sign, though. I should have done a
Masters.
little bit better reporting, but
Yeah.
it was, it's chaos in those practices. So you get in, you get your interview, and you get out.
Yeah,
you
that
don't,
is true.
You don't stick around and mingle.
That is true.
I'll try to work my way back into the practice to ask again.
Okay.
Thirdly, no, have not been accused of that about the loafers, but yes, also invested in a pair of loafers. I think I aged out of the ability to be able to wear tennis shoes without seeming weird quite a while ago.
But I
So
will
now
tell
it's,
you, this is just an observation I've made here at Asheville Road. There is an age where dress pants and tennis shoes come back around. Now you've got a few years, but that is in your future.
Yeah.
No way.
good.
No,
I've still
not
got the
for-
tennis shoes ready.
no,
Not for dad, but
not happening.
but for a lot of men, your age,
I had-
mature men.
Yeah.
Nope.
Mature.
I
I
would
have,
say he's a very mature man, and he's not wearing loafers.
Look, let's talk about the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Okay.
all right.
I'm going to say it. In the age of AI and technology and computers and high-speed internet, how much longer are the puppets going to hang on?
Too long.
I mean, in the age of YouTube and
it's
Well,
is there
that's
still
an
a
excellent
place
question.
for puppets?
Well, on that, I have a question, a serious question. Do you use puppets to teach any of your Bible classes there?
Okay, so this is kind of what I was hinting at in that first question. Trying to be
Yeah.
humorous, and I don't think they knew I was being sarcastic. They
Well,
gave a
masters
thought
of puppets can be extremely fierce. You have to be careful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very
They
tread
can.
They're
Now,
very intense. It's like a circus. Intense.
yes. Very nice. Well done.
Thank you.
Don't give him the wah for that. That
No.
was good.
He's going downhill.
But I will say we at university, now I don't know about many other places, but we do have, like the way our children's classes are set up, they will learn the same lesson for 3 or 4 weeks, but they go to a different room on that lesson. It's almost like a VBS where they have one room is like a craft with the lesson. The next week they'll get the same lesson, but this time it might be with, like a puppet show or a video or something. And then the next week they'll do, just an actual, you sit like a more traditional class and you sit down and you learn. But they start off all together, do a quick devotional together, and then they sort of break out into age groups and hit each of the rooms. It's really interesting. The kids learn a lot. I think the ladies that run that up at university are awesome. They're doing some really, really good work. But normally, yes, the puppet show is, it's good to be able to make light and kind of pick on yourself a little bit. And I think the puppet shows are a good place to be able to do that. I think they started as, they would take them to schools even and use them as a way to teach people in the schools. Or, it's like an evangelistic tool.
Well, that was the thing. When I was growing up, we'd get McGruff the crime dog would come in.
He flew in on a
after
helicopter.
your time, before your. Do you remember
he
McGruff
flew in
the
on a
crime dog?
helicopter to come to our school one time.
Yeah, and that's why
I
Takes a
remember
bite out of
McGruff the crime
crime.
dog.
that's
Yeah.
why I don't do drugs. Is only because of McGruff the crime dog.
Oh, see, we had
I think-
Dare. We
had Dare?
Yeah, we didn't have the crime. We didn't have McGruff. It was Dare by that time. By my time.
So
I
this
can
was
remember-
born out of
DARE
that
stands
age
for
where
what?
puppets were used in schools.
Stands
and
for something. Drugs.
Drugs.
Anyway.
Run you
Are really evil.
into the ground.
Drug
that's right.
abuse resistance education.
Okay,
Yeah.
that actually
Oh,
that
it's
rolls off
Dare.
the tongue better.
Yeah.
I like drugs are
Wait,
really
what were
evil.
we
It's
saying?
easier.
Hold on, what were we saying?
We
said drug.
It's not even 10 yet, and I did an acronym for drugs instead of dare.
Did I say Dare or did you?
You
say
said
you
dare.
said
Okay.
And I started trying to think of words that go with drugs.
This is going to be a long night.
Yeah. Hey, well, I've been involved in Lads to Leaders for 30 years. And I always
Bragger.
understood that the puppet training was for teaching Bible classes at your home congregation. That was the reason for having it involved in the Lads to Leaders conventions, is because this is the way we teach Bible classes. One of the things that we use for teaching Bible classes at our home congregation.
Well,
And-
that's what he said they do.
We don't.
Well,
And
that's
and
not
the
my-
congregations
it's not my
I've been
problem.
involved with have always done puppets at convention.
Yeah.
Period.
Well,
They don't
it's
do
what
it
all
at
the
home.
kids want to do.
And
But you do think at some point video production, maybe podcasting, AI
Yeah.
generated stuff has got to replace it, right?
They
making
brought-
shorts
not
seems
if
like
it's
that
for
would work.
Bible classes.
That's true.
Well, yeah,
I can
but
report some
yeah.
breaking news to that.
okay,
Oh, okay.
all right.
Lads to Leaders does, after extensive research, I have discovered Lads to Leaders does now have a category called mass media. Actually, they've had for a while. Now they even call it mass communications or media communications. And they do have podcasting categories. You can do video or audio. I actually was able to judge some of those this year, and you guys would be very confident in the future from seeing some of these video and listening to the audio podcasts from these kids. I mean, they're excellent. They were very high production quality, very thoughtful content that they'd obviously spent a lot of time writing carefully because it was so short, the time period they had. But they had moving graphics coming in, little introduction music, fading into their professional looking setup, and then really impressive stuff. So I can confirm that Lads, while they're still sticking to puppet shows from, who knows how long ago those were commonplace, they are keeping up with the times, and they are very much encouraging the kids to be involved in things like podcasting and other like making videos and those sorts of things. So they're doing some good work.
That's good.
with the
I've
kids.
noticed they also do PowerPoint slides. You may have mentioned that one, but some new things. So it sounds like maybe we need to start an internship with the Passages Studios. That we'll workshop that offline.
Yeah.
Also, I will say,
We'll
I will
circle
give
back.
this concession that the
Put a
Muppet
pin in
Show,
it.
the Muppet Show is back. So maybe there's,
What?
you know,
It's true.
trends always recycle, and maybe this is a
Maybe.
puppet new age that we're entering into. But yeah,
Uh,
Disney has brought back the Muppet Show.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
So it's got looks like Sabrina Carpenter, Seth Rogen, Maya Rudolph, and some other people I don't.
That was the
Recognize.
first episode.
But
Yeah,
so
I watched it.
And
It's like the old Muppet Show.
okay, so they stay true to
Same format,
okay,
same Muppets.
Waldorf and Astoria.
and
Yeah.
they didn't ruin it
No,
because a lot of times things that come back like this they're not what you remember. They're not
Well,
the
it-
same, right?
yeah, but it wasn't as good as you're probably remembering it. That's the thing. You go back and watch the old, and it's just not like your memory. Nostalgia
Yeah.
really gets you, you know.
Mhm.
So
Well, and
it's
you-
as good as the old one
And
was.
you might have been a kid when you saw it, so
Right.
it was
Yeah, you're seeing
you-
it with kid brain.
right. You were you watched it differently,
Well, you're innocent and you're pure.
right?
Mhm.
Do y'all remember Fraggle Rock?
Yeah.
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 I kind of wish Fraggle Rock would come back.
I tell you, the Monkeys TV show is very different now than it was when it was first on.
The Monkeys TV.
It hits
if
different
you-
now?
Like if you watch it
Hey,
again.
hey, we're the monkeys.
Yeah, it's different to me. Yeah, I don't like it as much as I did.
Yeah. You have to be a certain age for the monkeys. Andrew, great reporting.
Yeah.
You're risking life and limb
Thank
out
you.
there, and we just appreciate it.
He looks pretty comfortable where he is.
Yeah.
Look
Thank
at
you.
that.
I was amazed that he was home by
is.
8:24 or 8:25 and already in a hoodie. Man, Drew had Drew's not done glad heading until at least 8:45 most nights. So I mean, you do things right. Well, you got young children, so you're
you
trying
just-
to get home.
We know
as
the
fast as
move. You
possible.
pinch a kid,
Yeah,
get him
they start screaming.
You
Yeah.
can go home whenever you want to.
So have you thought about how you're going to close out your correspondence section? You know, you think of all the favorite
Yeah.
tag, you know, there's only in
tagline.
Alabama,
Yeah.
there's Stay Classy San Diego. I mean, there's all these different
That's a good one.
taglines. Have you thought of a good tagline for how you're going to close out Passages, the remote correspondence?
Right now, I still like just, I'm a simple guy. I like just the back to you. I don't got to be flashy.
Yeah.
Don't need to draw attention to myself. Just punt it back to the money makers over there and get on with the show.
Money makers.
But I can work on something.
Yeah, I'd just be curious to see what you could come up with. If you could brainstorm that would be interesting. Workshop it. I think that's the new modern phrase.
Well, why don't you do that now?
Next report. Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Let's see. We want to use something. How about until next time? Oh, no.
It's hard.
You
I
guys
have
are putting me on
trouble.
the spot. You're going to have to
I
cut
got
this
one
out.
for you. You heard
Okay.
it here on Passages.
Yes.
You're on past it.
This is
Well, I'm trying to think
this
of
is
something to
Andrew
play on
Brand
Kingsley
new.
signing off. You heard it here on Passages.
I like that.
You gotta
I
say
like
your
you
name.
heard it
Yeah, I know
on
you
Passages.
said you didn't want to draw attention to yourself, but you
But
gotta.
You're our correspondent. You're drawing
You gotta
attention. I hate to
sign
tell you
off.
this. Yeah.
Okay.
And I really want
And
something
you have the
like
best
here
hair
in the
in
passageway.
the building.
Something in the passage.
Oh,
Well,
the passageway.
yeah, I'm trying to think of something good to play on Passages. I do like the simple, classy, you heard it here on Passages. I do like that, though.
All right.
Simple, classy, to the point, get it back,
All right.
bring
Let's
it back
do
to
it.
the studio.
Let's do it.
All right. This is Andrew Kingsley. You heard it here on Passages. Back to you.
Perfect.
Well done.
That was pretty
Perfect.
good.
Thank you, Andrew.
Bye, Andrew.
applaud you.
Really good. Really
Good
good.
luck getting
All right.
Charlie in bed tonight.
Yeah, I can still hear some noise from up there, so I'm going to work now, I think.
Yeah.
Do we
Good night.
do we talk back and forth after the back to you? I don't
no,
think
I
we're
think-
supposed to
I
do
didn't think
that.
you're supposed
So
to
he
just
should
hang up.
close it
So-
out one more
Yeah.
time then.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, close us out one
Let's-
more time.
let's do
All
it
right,
one
hang
time.
on.
Okay.
All right, here we go. This is Andrew Kingsley. You heard it here on Passages. Back to you.
That's great.
You
That's
just
great.
hang
That's
up.
perfect.
All right.
I love it.
All right. Dad, you brought something to do tonight, didn't you?
No. What?
Oh, I thought you said you had a segment.
No. I said
Oh.
I was bringing gifts. I brought you
okay.
books.
And I appreciate
the gifts
the gifts.
were the
That's fine.
So
segment.
Tim is not here. This is Tim's book.
Okay, we'll
Can you
make
get-
sure he gets it.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to watch this the minute it drops. You know how Tim is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's-
Tim.
He's staying up late tonight.
He's going to be bugging you about getting the thing
Yep.
edited and out. Yeah.
He'll be messaging you probably by 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, yeah. What do you got, Jason?
Guys, I don't have an article. I have a personal experience, and it falls into a grind your gears. And it disappoints me a little bit. I'm starting to see. Go ahead, Patrick, hit it.
You know what really grinds my gears?
What's that, Jason?
I'm starting to see a downfall in my world, what has been a staple for many, many, many years. And I want to bring it to the forefront tonight. And I hope that I don't get myself in trouble with the powers that be at this company. But I had an experience with a company that is near and dear to my heart today that I want to bring up because we've got to fix it. As someone who has been a member since its inception and now has 241,659 lifetime points, I want to talk about Chick-fil-A.
I think you,
know-
have the right to,
You know what,
sir.
Jason? I'm here for this.
I had an experience this morning. I got up earlier than normal.
I haven't digested my Chick-fil-A yet. So
Yeah, we had Chick-fil-A for dinner.
It's not
up
about the
here.
quality of the food,
Mm.
but I've seen a lag in the quality of the service, and I want to bring that up tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about their bathrooms and how the dispensers are way too close to the sink and there's
Yep.
just not enough room. So this is a different. So this morning I wake up earlier than normal. There's a songbird outside. The sun is shining. I'm feeling good. And I think, let me check the app and see how many points I have. Because my rule is when I save up enough points, I go get a free breakfast. And I had enough points to get a breakfast this morning. So as I'm getting ready, I leave the house. I walk down to the truck. As I'm walking to the truck, I have the app pulled up, grinning ear to ear, thinking of the chicken minis that will soon be mine, along with a large Diet Dr. Pepper. I put the order into the app, mobile pickup. I have the rewards. Amount due $0.00. It's going to be a good day. I drive very little traffic to Chick-fil-A, turn in, drive around to the mobile through line, and come to a screeching halt around the dumpsters.
Oh, that's
pretty far from
back.
the drive-through. Yeah.
So the mobile through line is backed up very far. The I'm going to pull in and pay line is backed up not quite as far, but I've already paid through mobile through. I've said I'm going to come through this line. I'm not going to be a line jumper because that gets on my nerves when people do that. So I then sat for 20 minutes in the drive-through working my way up to get my food that I ordered on an app to be efficient.
Mhm.
That goes to a specific line, mobile pickup. You've already paid, you've already ordered.
Reach it, Jason.
You just scan, you get in the line, they give you your food, and you leave. It's like they were surprised that people were ordering breakfast this morning.
Yeah.
You make a few things: chicken nuggets, chicken
breakfast.
fingers. Yeah, you can get nuggets at breakfast. Yeah.
Well, that's what's in the minis.
It is.
Just
and
a
and you
regular
can
nug.
order, a lot of times I just order an 8-count nugget for breakfast because I probably shouldn't have the minis, but this morning I needed bread.
Yeah.
I needed the bread of Chick-fil-A. And so I pulled
You should
in.
go to Waffle House. I mean,
Well, that's what I had for dinner. And I was in and out in about the same amount of time that I sat in the line at Chick-fil-A this morning.
yeah.
So they make chicken nuggets, chicken strips, chicken sandwiches, chicken biscuits. You can get a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit if you want. There's not a lot of choices.
Yep.
I don't know what takes so long because I've ordered, I've paid, and I'm in the quick lane, right? I see the mobile pickup lane as this is mobile through means you shouldn't hardly slow down. You scan the QR code, your food should be headed out the door.
I
But
have a
nay,
theory on
nay,
this when you
Patrick,
get done. Sorry.
nay. I sat for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
What did
And
you
it's a-
ask? Why?
Well, I didn't have time at that point, and the lady that brought me my food, I know well, and I didn't want to start her day off bad because I have a feeling there were other people complaining.
Yeah.
But I will bring this up the next survey I get, and then I'll use that free sandwich to go back through
To
the mobile
through
through line again.
I have a theory on this.
I want to hear your theory because I have a few too. I'm
Yeah.
gonna see if we align.
Here's my primary theory that I've learned to work around.
Mhm.
I think when you do mobile through,
Mhm.
you pull in and you have to scan that QR code.
Mhm.
So in your case, you can't even scan it yet
No,
because
it's-
you're still 200 feet away from it. Or
That's
whatever.
right. Yeah, I would have had to get out and walk to scan it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I
Which
think
I should have done.
I think that's too well. I got a little tip for you here. In a
All right,
second.
I'm ready for that.
But it's too close to the window. So if somebody's ordering, sometimes I'll roll through there and get 25 biscuits for the office. And
You're a kind man.
if
I wish I
get
worked with you.
if I get to that sign and scan it, I mean I'm too close.
Yeah,
they can't get that ready.
You just
Right.
shut down the biscuit line.
So here's what you should do. You should, and actually I'll just send this to you. You should take a picture of that QR code.
You genius.
And at least on a real phone, it's a picture of a QR code. You can hold the QR code and it'll let you scan the QR code. So I've learned how far from Chick-fil-A to scan the QR code so that I'm not holding up, I'm not having to sit in the front of the line while they get 25 biscuits in a bag or whatever.
That is a brilliant idea. Why can't, so I know they're watching it on GPS because it does not say scan QR code till you are turning
get
into
in
their
there.
parking lot. Why can't it just say by GPS automatically, you're in the parking lot, I'm going to start making your food.
Yeah.
So they're tracking you
Oh, absolutely.
everywhere you go.
No,
Chick-fil-A.
As long as you have the app open.
If you have the
They're
app
tracking
open,
you when
yeah.
you're not.
But
Yeah.
why would you close
Oh,
it?
sure.
What? Sync.
Geospatial
Spying?
location. Geospatial. Yeah. Everyone is tracking you. If you have one of these and you have your location on, everybody knows where you are. But it
Yeah,
just,
I do. My car does.
yeah, it
Dad-
just,
Dad
was-
always knows where I am.
it just,
I was coming here today, and I was on I-20, and I said, "Hey Siri, where is Drew Kaiser?" And Siri said, "Well, 2 minutes ago he was on Asheville Road at 1401 Asheville Road."
it's a little scary.
It is.
It's pretty wild.
But there's got to be a workaround for this because to me, and this may have just been the getting angry Jason, it seemed that the line you pulled up to and just ordered was moving faster than the mobile through line. And that is a travesty. It should not happen that way.
So we, at my work, we're pretty good friends with the IT department at Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we're related, in
Oh, yeah.
business,
Yeah.
but we know a lot of people that work over there. And we have talked to them about how they do support. And we wanted to talk about IT support, but of course they're talking about customer in line support kind of thing. So, just one way that they work on this is if you, next time you go through there, look how many cameras are in that drive-through awning. They're like
watching.
Chick-fil-A corporate is watching.
Okay.
And there's one story they told us where on the inside they were watching what was happening, and somebody picked up the phone and called that store and said, "Hey, you need to move the Chick-fil-A sauce 2 feet that way, and you'll save." And it was a minuscule amount of time. You'll save, 1.7 seconds per order, and then of course it adds up over the course of 5,000 people a day or whatever they serve. But I don't know. COVID, I think for me started a little bit of a downhill
I agree.
on
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A.
change
100%.
things, at least here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start looking at the cameras and going,
Yeah,
I think I'll do
somebody
that.
may be watching that specific camera
Yeah.
at that specific time.
they would have seen me a little, because I was thinking, hey, I'm going to pick this up I'm going to be at work. It'll be 7:25, 7:30 when I'm pulling into the office. I got 30 minutes to get stuff done before the first patient hits the door. By the time the first patient's ready, I've got a lot of my morning tasks done, and I can just roll with the punches after that. No. I rolled into work at 8:47 or 7:47, not 8:47. That would have been bad. But anyway, they really need to I would like to see them work on that. And I will be bringing it up with the brass there because I know them.
Yeah.
And Chick-fil-A, one of the reasons some people like the food, but some people go there for the service.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of their brand. So they've got to fix it.
Yeah. It's
And
to the point
they're
where-
innovators in speeding up the process.
And this has
making
been
it efficient.
a problem because we've discussed this when we've had breakfast together before about it backing up and how long it takes to get through that line. If you're there before 7, it's okay. If you're there a minute after 7, it slows it way down.
Oh, yeah.
So that's just my grind my gears. I love you, Chick-fil-A. I'll be there probably tomorrow. But
And
just know my heart hurts a little bit because of how this has dropped
and
off.
don't change your QR code since I gave my secret away.
That is a great idea.
They're busy changing it right now.
Yep.
I wanted to talk a little bit. We don't have to belabor this, but I want to talk a little bit about the trial that's going on. It's a landmark social media addiction trial. And I've just got mixed feelings about this thing because social media, I've written a book on social media available through Riddle Creek Publishing.
Dangerous Playground.
Dangerous
by
Playground.
Drew Kaiser.
Right? It's a little dated now. It came out in 2018 and a lot has changed, but the basic biblical principles still hold. So I call it a dangerous playground. I know the dangers of social media. At the same time, I also believe in personal responsibility. And that's where this trial has really gotten me thinking. It's very important what they decide. The verdict might set a legal precedent about how responsible social media platforms are for causing mental health issues in children. Australia has already banned it for 15 and under. I think you have to be 16.
Yeah, under 16.
Which that whole thing, we could talk about this. Kids know how to get around the age verification, right? They ask you how old you are, you say a number, and that's about all there is to it. Now, it may be more complicated than that, but it's my understanding that it's about like that. And if it is more complicated, a kid can figure out a way around it. But there's a trial going on right now. There are more than 1,600 plaintiffs, but I think there's just one in particular that's involved in the trial right now. And her identity has not been revealed, just her initials, KGM. And a case has been brought against Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Snap, which used to be Snapchat. I think. They accuse the tech companies of knowingly designing addictive products harmful to young users' mental health. Well, first question, when Dad brought these cookies, did he knowingly design addictive products harmful to our physical health?
Yes.
Yes, he did. Am I going to sue him? No.
Thank you.
Am I going to eat what's left in there before the end of the night?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because he did it with love, because there's something about enjoyment. And
there are only 2 left.
You want to create a product that people want. That's what these social media companies are guilty of doing, is making something that is as enjoyable as possible. TikTok and Snap settled before trial, which I'm told that's how most of these lawsuits go. 80% of them are settled out of court because it's more expensive to try the case than to just settle.
And I wonder how many of those, you said 80%?
I just threw that out. I don't know.
It's probably a high percentage, but I wonder how many of those are brought just trying to trigger a settlement because what you just said, they know they can get some number of hundreds of thousands of dollars or more from these companies because they find that in their couch cushions.
Yeah. Money's involved in this, so take from it what you want. The the claim is the platforms use to exploit. The lawsuit highlights a variety of features that it claims the platforms use to exploit children and adolescents, including an algorithmically generated endless feed to keep users scrolling, rewards that encourage people to keep using the platform, and incessant notifications, as well as inadequate measures for age verification and parental control. Well, you can turn the notifications off. And why aren't parents saying, turn the notifications off?
Or
you can set time limits for the endless scrolling.
you can just not have it on your device.
You can choose not to download the app to begin with. That's true. Burke said this plaintiff, KGM, would use her phone to avoid social interaction at school while appearing as though she's doing something rather than sitting and being perceived as having no friends. Her mental health conditions were caused, they claim, by issues. Oh, this was the defense. Meta, Zuckerberg, Facebook, Instagram, they are fighting back and they're saying this girl's mental health conditions were not caused by social media, but by issues at home. And, now she's really going to have some mental health problems because she's the focus of all this heat, and her identity is eventually going to come out. I mean, how long can they keep this a secret? This is a big deal. YouTube's president of engineering argued it's important to differentiate between clinical addiction and problematic use. So anyway, those are some statements I wanted to share with you from the trial, and this is from last week. I think there's been some more developments this week. I haven't kept up with it because there's a few things going on in the news. I don't know if you guys have noticed. But I just wonder, is this the right approach to this? I really think that churches and families need to be talking about this and using it appropriately and drawing boundaries, setting limits, understanding how addictive these things are, and many, many other things, and training our kids so that when they leave our homes, they can act responsibly.
Well, and where do you draw the limits? So anything that causes your dopamine levels to shoot up can become addictive, right?
And that's a lot of stuff, right?
I mean,
at Challenge Youth Conference, I told you about it. At Challenge Youth Conference last weekend, David Shannon had a great lesson. In the beginning of the lesson, he said the problem is your heart. The algorithms just study you and know what your heart wants, and so it shows you what you want.
That's true.
And so he says the whole problem is your heart. You get your heart under control, all of that stuff is not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of truth to be said in that, but I do think there are things, so commercials, advertising, they're made for you to remember them. They are there for mental cues to force you to, I can remember the attorney Goldberg, 800-600-6014. I haven't heard that commercial in 20 years, but I heard it so many times. I can't remember my parents' phone number, but I have that one buried in my mind. And that's because advertising and things like that stimulate that part of the mind that engages us. And I think these companies are guilty of doing things, manipulating their algorithms and things to gain attention. But just getting attention is not necessarily going to drive you to an addiction. And I think they said there was a big difference between clinical addiction and overuse?
Something like that, misuse.
So clinical addiction is something that is controlling you completely.
Problematic use.
Yeah. You will never meet an addict that tells you that they love their addiction. Almost every addict that you meet will tell you they hate what addiction has done to them. They hate who they have become. They are controlled by it. They are driven by it. There's no escaping it. And every addict is that way. There's a difference between that and scrolling social media for 6, 7, 8 hours. There's an issue there. And maybe there are some people with a propensity to addiction or that are chemically more wired towards addiction that are going to show addictive behaviors with it. But a lot of it is the parents aren't parenting. The parents aren't saying, get off your phone and go outside. The parents aren't saying, hey, you've been playing on your phone for 2 hours. Why don't you come in here and help do this or that? We're in a society today, and I see it in exam rooms every single day. Parents are in the exam room with their children. The children are acting crazy, and the parents are paying them zero attention because the parent is on their phone. Or the children are acting crazy, and instead of disciplining the children, they give them a device to distract them. And we've all been guilty of that. When my kids were little, I would give them something and say, hey, watch Jake and the Neverland Pirates or whatever. But it wasn't for 8 hours a day. At some point, parents have to parent. And kids are going to continue to have access to stuff until parents parent. I didn't have it.
No, you didn't have it.
But I think that there are some people that probably deal with addiction to it. But addiction is an uncontrollable drive to something that is ultimately destructive. It controls what you're doing. You are truly out of control. You are not capable of stopping it without outside help. I don't think that's social media usage.
Yeah.
I don't think in the true clinical definition it's the same.
On social media, I'll see these posts that say things like Instagram reels are just as addictive as cocaine, or worse for your brain than cocaine or something. And there's like a grain of truth to that, but then it almost lessens the impact of drug use and overhypes what's going on in social media, so-called addiction, and takes responsibility away from the people who are addicted and their parents in the case of teenagers. Because, you know, they might say, they are saying it's Instagram's fault. It's TikTok's fault. Snapchat's fault.
Well, that's where we are, though, in this culture. I'm not
Everybody's
accountable
addicted.
for anything. It's somebody else's fault, not mine.
So when they say those things about that social media is just as addictive or cell phones are just as addictive as cocaine or alcohol or whatever, what they're talking about is the dopamine level response.
Mm-hmm.
They're not necessarily, and some people can handle that. There are some people who can be around that and never have any propensity towards addiction. There are some people who their dopamine response goes nuts and they're going to be an addict. I read a book a long time ago, about 2 years ago, called Dopamine Nation. Anna Lemke wrote it. It's if you ever want to read and understand addiction, it is a spectacular book on addiction. She said, and I think this is an interesting quote, she says, right at the very beginning of the book, she says, the modern day hypodermic needle delivering digital dopamine 24/7 for a wired generation. And that's what she's referring to as the smartphone. She defines the smartphone as the hypodermic needle. And maybe our access to these things is a problem. But again, if it's your children having problem with it, be a parent. Set an example. Stop playing on your phone for 4 or 5 hours a day because your kids are learning that behavior from somebody.
Exactly.
They're learning it from you.
Yeah, that's what really gets me about these age limits. Let's quit pretending the kids are the only ones with the problem here.
Oh, no. You can't. You see them driving down the road, scrolling their phones, social media, posting videos in the car.
Right. I mean, we all have anybody with a phone has a problem.
But you said it right. We live in a world where there is no such thing as personal responsibility.
Yeah.
If
accountability.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, it's the same thing with a lot of other behavioral things. Well, it's not their fault. That's just the way that they're made. Well, not necessarily. There are things you can guide and counsel and parent out of children behaviors. You know, I think there is a generation that did that in an extremely harsh manner. And it's like a pendulum. It's like we had extremely strict parenting and then it swung to what we have now, which I think is extremely relaxed parenting. It's I'm gonna coddle you, hold you. I'm never gonna tell you no.
I think they call that gentle parenting.
For an
Yes.
example,
Yeah, that's the term.
for an example, can I give an example from last week? I think it was last week. Within the last couple of weeks, I had a parent bring their kid to the for an eye exam, and this will give away no data, so this isn't a HIPAA breach or anything.
I have the censor button ready just in case.
It won't be. And I see this, but this could be a made up parent, but it would be the same for multiple. I see this multiple times a year. The parent comes in, the kid has a condition where their eyes are awful, literally have got to wear glasses, or developmentally the eye is not going to develop right. I mean, high prescription's going to develop amblyopia if they don't wear their glasses. And I had a parent of a 3-year-old tell me within the last couple of weeks, well, he doesn't want to wear his glasses, and I don't know how to make him wear his glasses. I can't make him because I feel like it hurts his feelings when I tell him to wear his glasses, and I don't want to hurt his feelings. She said, how do I get him to wear his glasses? And this is literally what I said to her. You have to be the parent. You can't let the 3-year-old dictate what goes on in your house, because if that's happening, you're setting your whole family up for failure. I don't know if she'll ever come back, but I hear those kind of things.
He's
all the
really
time.
going to be upset when he gets older and learns that his eyes are messed up because his mother wouldn't.
But that is the
hurt his feelings.
But that's where a lot of this social media stuff comes from. Well, if I tell Taylor or Sam, well, let me see your phone. You've been on your phone 6 hours today. That's ridiculous. I'm going to hurt their feelings. Sometimes it's good to have your feelings hurt.
Well, you need to learn how to have your feelings hurt, because life's going to hurt them a lot.
When you get into the job market, it's
Yeah.
going to crush you sometimes.
Yeah.
That is a scary case, because it does go to where
It's not going well for Meta and YouTube.
but it goes to
Not
where,
going well for them.
where personal responsibility lies. Are we going to blame external things for our situations, or are we going to take ownership of a lot of our situations we're in, or because of internal problems?
I wonder how much of this is Meta and Snap and TikTok's fault, and how much of it is the content creators. Because the content creators have learned.
That's a good.
I mean, it's probably a joint fault thing here, right? Because
But they're not being held accountable. They're not going to have to pay a
Yeah.
lawsuit or anything.
right. But the content creators have learned if they switch if you watch some of them, I mean, you're not on one screen. It's doing this number every word or something, right? I mean, something is changing on the screen because attention
It keeps your
span
attention,
and for kids, I mean, it's exciting.
Yeah.
And then they get used to that and can't go back and just watch a movie. I mean, I love it when the kids at home come and ask to watch a movie. Because it's a 2 hours.
That used to be what we worried about.
Yeah, right.
I remember as a kid hearing the scary statistic that people are watching 4 hours of TV a day.
Oh no!
And now I'm like, will you come down here and watch a TV show with me?
Yeah.
Right.
Stop
Please?
swiping through your phone. It's frustrating. I just worry about if something like that goes through, what other things are going to start being the fault of externals. It just takes away that personal responsibility
That
piece.
point about the content creators is a really good point, that they're manipulating the algorithms to get more hits, which is driving this thing. I mean, Facebook is just a platform. It would be empty without the content creators.
There is this magic
This is
thing
crazy.
called an off button, though.
Yeah.
And you can take away your child's phone. It will
If
not
you're worried about it,
kill them.
put the phone down. Put the phone away. And then it suddenly is not a problem
And as a
anymore.
general rule, go up to your kids and say, hey, let me see your phone. If you'll do that about once a week, they won't be on their phone so much.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what you're going to come and check and what they've been looking at.
I like your method of coming just like in the middle of the day.
Just catch them off guard. Hey, man,
Catch 'em
let me
off
see your
guard.
phone. If there's a certain look and you're like, oh,
you know the
what's on
face.
there?
Well,
Yeah.
you told me one time, you said, before I look at it, is there anything you want to tell me?
Yeah.
So
and it
that's
works.
pretty good.
Just check a phone, and parents, stay off your phone. It's hard. It's hard for kids. It's hard to get onto your kids about being on social media or being on their devices for a long time when you've spent the last 4 hours sitting on the couch scrolling on your phone.
Yeah,
I don't know that I can get on that soapbox way too much.
Maybe not enough. Well, let's take a break. We have some bumper music brought to you tonight by my niece, Alba Jane Kaiser. She's going to bring us out, and we'll come back with, I don't know, we'll come back with something after the break.
Give me joy. You can always find me at the end of the rainbow. You can always find me at the end of the rainbow. You can always find me at the end of the rainbow.
All right, well, welcome back. Tonight's passage is inspired by some stuff going on at work where we have some pretty high profile and pretty stressful projects going on. And I was looking for a little motivation for me and our team on, like sometimes you just got to keep going. You know, you've heard I think Winston Churchill said something like, if you're going through hell, keep going. And so I was trying to kind of come up with some things around that to keep me going. And I came across a passage from Billie Jean King, who, as we were discussing right before we came back on, was a very well-known tennis player in the 60s, 70s, and even up into apparently into the 2000s, which
Amazing. She
Yeah.
had to have been in her 50s.
Yeah. She this says she coined this passage around 2000 during a Fed Cup moment right before a big match involving Lindsay Davenport. I don't know who that is.
Tennis player.
Obviously a tennis player.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
So here's the passage. Pressure is a privilege. That's it. Pressure is a privilege.
Doesn't feel like a privilege,
Not in the moment, right?
right? So it's one of those quotations that really teaches. It's like Paul said, I've learned to be content whatever situation I am. He didn't naturally come by that. It was a lesson learned. You can either learn this from Billie Jean King or go the route most of us go and go through the pressure, fight it, learn later that it does you some good. I think the earlier in life we can get that in our heads, the better off we are, because there's nobody who avoids what she calls pressure. We're talking about affliction, suffering, pain.
So James said, count it all joy when you fall into manifold tribulations, trouble.
That's right. That's I think that's exactly the same thing as what she's saying.
Yeah.
Privilege,
Well, I mean-
joy, tribulations, pressure. That's
And we were talking
equivalents.
Before the break about, parents needing to make some hard decisions sometimes. That's pressure.
Yeah.
You have pressure to raise this child and gonna have to hurt their feelings sometimes. And it's not gonna feel good. But
There's so many tough decisions you have to make as a parent. Your kids are going to ask questions constantly. And when they're little, the questions are,
why is the sky blue?
either unanswerable or easy to answer.
Right.
Then when they get to be teenagers, the questions change. A lot of them are about permission. Can I go here? Can I be with him? Can I be with her? Can I have this? And sometimes I think they do this on purpose. They just inundate you with so many.
Yeah.
that
Where are you down?
One's going to get through. Yeah, or wear you down. And then, when they become adults, the questions change again, and they're more like, how did you get through this? Or how do I survive this? And that's another kind of pressure. And so you have to invite those things in and face them.
How do you balance it with contentment, though? Because we're also taught to be content.
Well, you learn the meaning of the pressure, and you start counting it as a privilege, and that's the only way you can be content with suffering, is to say, I'm going to learn something from this. It has a purpose.
You have to learn to be content, as you said.
Yeah.
Because it's a learning process. Paul said, I've learned to be content in whatever state or condition I am.
Yeah.
And I would argue that's still pressure. To like
The learning
learning to be content is still a form of pressure when you're trying to learn it, right? You're putting pressure on yourself to learn it. I think about when I read this, I was thinking the privileged part in where the context of where this came from was, I got a job.
Mm-hmm.
It pays the bills. We're comfortable. I've got friends at work. I work for a company that, has values that they actually believe in and aren't just some marketing fluff.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the people I work with help people and do good things. I mean, that's privilege. And I'm complaining a little bit about, this is a tough project.
Well, and if you're facing pressure, then it means you're hopefully doing something that is beneficial to others. I mean, At the end of the day, I help people see that's a pretty cool gig. Is there a lot of pressure with that? Is there some really frustrating, stressful days? Yes. But the opposite is I'm sitting at home doing nothing. I mean, there's no pressure there. There would eventually be pressure, but that freedom of, I guess, apathy would be the opposite of that pressure, right? You just don't care. You don't have anything that's pushing you. Don't have anything that really creates drive. And to me, that would be kind of torture.
Or ease, or
yeah.
It's a reason a lot of people pass on advancement because they don't want the pressure.
Yeah.
They'd
That's
rather
true.
they're complacent. They'd rather be comfortable. That's what the opposite of pressure is. And the way I'm looking at this is comfort,
Mm-hmm.
which is something we all invite into our lives. We enjoy. Why would you want things to be hard? But time and time again, it's been proven to us in our own lives and through scripture and other places that you don't grow without a little pain. You don't get better without trials. You don't you don't learn contentment without the suffering and affliction. And nobody gets out of this life without that anyway. So you might as well learn the good that can come from it. It's not to say that it's all good, or that pain is pleasurable or anything like that, or that you should even go out looking for the pressure. It's just when it comes, be ready for it, learn something from it, and grow through it. Because it beats the alternative.
I think about how in a career, pressure changes. So Andy just alluded to it, but when you first start your job, your pressure is different than when you're 20 years in, and in say corporate world, by 20 years you might be leading people, which is wholly different than I'm an individual contributor and I have my George Jetson one button to push and I go home. Now I've got 18 people who depend on me for guidance, for steadiness, for just advice, whatever it is. And you think about, some of those people like really come to depend on you, and that's a heavy pressure to carry. But at the same time, I don't know of a bigger privilege at work.
Yeah.
Other than they let me keep my job, but that's, I don't know. I think about that a lot because there's 18 people, we'll say 18 and a half with the intern, that I'm responsible for. Yeah. And I mean, look, we're in a sea of 4,600 people or whatever it is, but I mean, those 18 people are mine. That's a heavy load to carry.
Well, and part of that pressure comes from the powers that be, your bosses trusted you with that.
Yeah.
And with that trust comes
It's
a
like
level of
pressure
responsibility.
sandwich. Yeah. If I can invoke the glue clause here, while doing some looking around, I along with this pressure is privilege passage came one from, I'm going to get the name wrong. Can you pronounce it, Drew?
Marcus Aurelius.
Yes. Yes.
Close
enough.
Who knows?
I didn't mess it up. You did. No. And I really, this is not the exact same, but closely correlated. So it says, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. And, you get stuck in this pressure, but you got to go through it. And it just becomes the way through it is to just deal with the pressure. He goes on to say, let not your thoughts at once, this is a translation, I'm sure that from
Latin, probably.
Right. Let not your thoughts at once embrace all the various troubles which you may expect to befall you, but on every occasion ask yourself, what is there in this which is intolerable and past bearing? For you will be ashamed to confess. In the next place, remember that neither the future nor the past pains you, but only the present. And I don't know the quote in the Bible, but like, don't be anxious for tomorrow. I don't know the exact passage, but don't be anxious for tomorrow, because tomorrow's anxious for itself. Well, I mean, he's saying basically the same thing of, you've got the now that you got to deal with. Don't think about the bookends on that.
Is he saying just think about the present, because however painful it is tolerable?
I think so. Yeah. What is there in this which is intolerable and past bearing?
And really, it's the only thing you can impact.
Right.
You can deal with the moment. Right.
Yeah.
But what haunts us the most? Our past and our future.
Yeah. That's where we spend all our worries. Yeah.
That which is over, and that which hasn't even happened, that which doesn't exist.
Well, and that's probably where we allow the biggest amount of pressure, which actually takes the form of anxiety and worry, to come from. See, there's a difference between pressure and anxiety and worry. And I think our anxieties, especially our unrealistic anxieties, our anxieties that are overdone, a lot of them come from past things and present things. And if we can just focus on the pressure that we're in the moment, in the day, that's where the privilege.
Did you mean past and future?
That's what I meant. What did I say? Past and
past
present.
And present.
Oh, past and future.
It's all right.
Can we cut that and just let me go back?
You're going to have to go watch the
Never happened.
Christmas.
Absolutely. I wouldn't worry about it.
I have to
at
see
all.
the three ghosts. Yeah. There was another quote from a very, I guess, famous character that also goes along with what we're talking about it. And I like it. I think about this one a lot in my head. Just keep swimming.
Yep.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Dory from Finding Nemo.
Okay.
Very famous character. But it
Did you
goes
not
right
know
along
that,
with
Drew?
this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to
I
sing
just-
it, but it does go along with this, that sometimes it's like the Churchill quote. You said you just keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we invite pressure.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's a privilege, in a sense. We invite pressure. I mean, I could be sitting at home Friday night by myself doing nothing, no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Boring. Or I could go to the Little Ryman every Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a challenge. That's pressure.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to mess up and be embarrassed. But it's better than sitting at home
I'm
by
telling you,
myself Friday night.
I
so-
saw some video footage from the Little Ryman, and I believe the Passages podcast needs to take a road trip.
I like the idea.
I would be
Dad,
on
would you
board.
put
I
us
would
up?
be.
Would you put us up?
I would
man,
be
yeah,
on
sure.
board with that without any hesitation. That looks like a lot of fun.
We do have
It's a lot of fun.
a mobile recording solution available to us now.
That's right.
That was top secret. I probably should have said that.
Now
but
you're on double top secret
I am.
probation. Yeah. Well, I think we've hit the hour where we are starting to become fatigued.
What you
Yeah.
gotta do?
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming.
When I'm having a
swimming.
bad
What
week,
do we do? We
I'm
swim,
walking up and down
swim.
the halls of the
Real singing.
office thinking that in my head.
That's perfect. Pressure is a privilege.
it is.
I like the quotations that are short enough to remember.
Yeah.
So many of them lately, I've had to have my phone open the whole time
Right.
because it's a paragraph or whatever. So,
This podcast is pressure.
Yeah.
We have
It
a
is.
lot of people
Yeah.
that depend on us.
we
Yeah.
do. And when he was, I thought he was
100.
going to say, I could be in bed on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
we don't have to do this. We do it as a service, people.
And I don't know that we have to worry about millions of people becoming addicted to this podcast.
No. We are contributing to the YouTube endless feed.
We are.
And I think last episode we said it was 106, but I think it was 107, and this is 108. We're becoming
Oh, no,
in
I-
ourselves an endless feed.
Hold on. Have I messed up?
And what will help
I'm
our
not sure.
what will
This
help
is
our
107. I hope.
This is 107. Okay.
what will really help our algorithm, folks, is if you'll go out there and smash that subscribe
Smash
button,
it.
whatever
right.
that means.
We are at 93 subscribers on YouTube now.
Yeah, but we were supposed to be at 100
We
by
were.
now.
We got 2 more since last week, though.
Wait a minute. I thought you were 98 last week.
No, we were 91 last week.
Yeah,
91.
we're getting close. We'll eclipse that
Hey,
100 mark.
I think us putting out some shorts and
I do too.
some short form things that can hook people,
Yeah.
is going to help us.
Yeah.
It's a little behind the scenes here, but
I like the short forms. I have enjoyed watching the one from the last week. I click on it a couple of times a week and look at it and be like, oh, hey, we've got 500 views
Yeah.
or 600. It's fun just seeing those go up. It brings me a little bit of joy.
Well, we appreciate all our contributors. Andrew Kingsley, we're very excited about our remote correspondent. Thank you to all our listeners. Thanks, Dad, for joining us
Hey,
tonight.
it's great to
It
be
was
here.
great having
Hope,
you.
it, hope
Thank
it's
you.
not the
great.
last time. Hope you come back.
I'm getting to be a regular.
And don't
You
think
are?
we won't come up there to the Little Ryman. I'm all on board with that.
I wish you would, but I've got room for you.
Hey,
Don't think we
it-
won't.
It's fun. It's fun. Little Ryman. We may do a remote show from there.
we
sometime.
might could send our remote correspondent up there.
Yeah, why are we talking about going?
Yeah.
We'll just send Andrew there.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, tell him to take his guitar. So
Yeah, that's right. He plays the
Maybe.
guitar. He can get up on.
We'll put
They'll
his
let
name
anybody on
we'll
stage.
put his name on the board.
I went one night just to hear Dad. It's an open. We haven't mentioned this, but it's a place in the Shoals that's open mic, and I just went to hear Dad, and they were trying to drag me up on stage. They didn't know me from Adam's House Cat. Come on, you gonna sing a
Doesn't
song
matter.
tonight?
Doesn't matter.
And I said, I didn't come prepared to sing. Oh, sure, you know a song.
You don't have to be
No,
prepared.
I don't know a song.
What'd you sing, Drew?
I didn't do anything. I just kept saying no.
Drew, next time you're up there, now if we're with you, we'll encourage it. But if you're up there alone, just do it. Just get up there and sing a song. What is the hurt that comes from it? You
Hey,
might find
it's a
What are you,
privilege.
talking? Why are you talking?
It's a
about?
You might
privilege,
find that as a freeing thing. for
You
you
go
to
up
do.
there and do it.
You can do it.
If we go up there, I'll sing a song.
This-
You play, I'll sing.
In the words of Mr. Aurelius and the guy on The Mandalorian, this is the way, Drew.
Yep.
It becomes the
I
way.
couldn't, when I heard
Yeah,
that Aurelius,
Did I say it right?
yeah. From
I
the
don't know.
quote, you should have been up there singing. Yeah.
I thought of the Mandalorian too.
Yeah, this is the way.
Well, this is the way we end the podcast. There's more to come next time on Passages.